Because boomers are like, I got my piece of the cake, so throw away the cake. I got my slice of cake, so let's throw away the cake. What about the rest of the family?
This video on TikTok has gone extremely viral. I believe this young woman is a Gen Zer and she's extremely upset with the boomers. So let's see what's going on.
So boomers get pensions, Social Security, Medicaid, all this. They get a good economy. Pull up the ladder, pull up the ladder. Younger kids don't get that. And now they're getting old and retiring. And there's 29 states with familial laws that are going to force their children to pay for it. You had the best economy, you had the best jobs, you had the best everything. You say so yourself. It was so good, it was so amazing back in your time. You worked so hard, you made so much money, you did this, that, and this. And then now, consistently, vote away Social Security, vote away Medicare, vote away pensions, vote away 401k, vote away everything. Now that I got mine, no one else needs anything. Because boomers are like, I got my piece of the cake, so throw away the cake. I got my slice of cake, so let's throw away the cake. What about the rest of the family? What about your grandkids? What about your cousins? What about your children? What about them? Do they not get a slice of cake? Do they not get a bit of everything that you fucking benefited from?
There's currently 29 states with filial laws. This is the definition of filial responsibility. It is a legal concept in which an adult child is financially responsible for their parents' unpaid health costs. Not all states have filial responsibilities, and not all families are liable. In short, an individual could have filial responsibility if they have the means to pay for their parents' unpaid long-term case bills when their parents are not covered by Medicaid but do not have financial means to pay for them. The responsibilities of either the parent or the child vary from state to state, so you really have to look into it for your own state.
Do they not get a bit of that? No. You can't have food stamps. You're selfish. You can't have Medicaid. You're selfish. You can't have free healthcare. That's selfish. You know what's selfish? Taking every single benefit and social help that you got from the government from you got to benefit from it all. You know what's selfish? Taking all those benefits and then making sure no one else gets any. That's selfish. You're like, I got my piece of the cake. I got my piece of the cake. Why don't you go get your own cake? Bitch, we were supposed to share. The cake. All of you deserve to burn.
Oh, wait. Okay. That got dark.
All of you. Y'all suck. Y'all ruined everything. It's not fair. We worked so hard, and now there's going to be millions of people forced to take care of old people who squandered away their money. You had the best economy, the best jobs, the best social benefits. You had the best of everything. You had it all. You had the best of everything, and you squandered it. You pulled the ladder up behind, and then you pissed away all your money. And now you have no money now that you're 65 and your body isn't working anymore and you don't have any money to pay for your medical bills. Oh my God, who could have seen it coming? Who could have seen that coming? Who could have seen it? Oh my Lord. Man, I had the best economy and the best jobs and the best pensions and the best retirement plans and I pissed it all away. What am I gonna do? Seriously?
No, I'm not sure because I don't know this young lady, but I think that maybe her frustration may be coming from the fact that either she may have to end up paying for her parents or she just does not like the idea of a lot of children that may have to come up with some sort of responsibility according to whatever state they live in, and she doesn't like the idea of that. And I can understand, like, for example, I'm looking at Indiana right now. It says, duty to furnish support for parents states that any child whose father or mother provided the individual with necessary food, clothing, medical attention, and education until the individual reached 16 years of age, and two, who is financially able due to the individual's own property, income, or earnings, shall contribute to the financial support of the individual's parents. So that's saying, hey, if your parent took care of you up till you was like 16 and gave you shelter and clothing and medical care and all of that stuff, you have to now look after your parent, allegedly, and contribute to the support of the parent if either parent is financially unable to furnish the parent's own necessary food, clothing, shelter, or medical attention. Now, that was just an example, but this is what this young woman is upset about, because she's saying the boomers had like, let's be for real, a lot of people in this economy compare Gen Z millennial life to the boomers being able to go out, work jobs, have a pension. And in this economy, a lot of Gen Z is struggling, a lot of millennials are struggling. And with codes like this is essentially saying, hey, if they were the ones that did all this for you, it's your turn to do it for them. But what what she is essentially saying here is, hey, I'm struggling. Y'all had all these resources, and y'all had this good economy. Y'all got houses, y'all got all this stuff, and blah, 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 blah. The uncomfortable truth in conversation that I think should have been had a long time ago is with the parents who were not financially secure and then will look at their children to save them. There is no other way to put it. This has been going on for a while, but in the economy we live in, where Gen Z and the millennials are struggling, if you have to take on the load of taking care of a parent because of these sort of codes and things like this that are put in place, I can understand why she's like, wait a minute. And I'm not saying that you should not try, or that anyone is ungrateful for their parents, or that their parents didn't do the best they could. But I'm just saying, imagine a 25-year-old just trying to figure their way out in life. They don't have it figured out yet. They're probably still stumbling, falling, trying to find their footing in the world, right? And you know that your parent is not financially able, and they fall within one of these 29 states that says, hey, you got to look after your parent. This may come with a lot of anger. And I know a lot of the older generation may be like, oh, well, you should just want to take care of me because I'm your parent, or I'm your mom, I'm your dad, or whatever. A lot of people don't want to be forced to take care of their parents. And that is just the truth. I'm not trying to be mean when I say it. This is just the honest truth. A lot of people don't want to do that. They want to try to flourish. But a lot of people are like, hey, my parent is not financially responsible, so I'm going to have to carry that load.
No, screw you guys. You don't get to have the best of 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 this country.
It's too late.
And then force us to take care of you once you burn into the ground.
Definitely recommend that anybody with older parents that may not be financially responsible, or even if you think they are, at least look and see what states do these statutes currently fall into, because this is not something you want to just get hit with later and then you're like, oh my gosh, life is already like doing me in, but now I gotta like think about this. These are the type of conversations I think that families should be having. Like, when your kids are 18, stop the cap. Stop all of the, oh, like, it wasn't none of your business that I was struggling. I didn't want you to think I wasn't. No. If you're getting older and you're going to be looking around, because some of y'all parents out there, y'all know that you're going to be looking at your children. And you may be in one of these 29 states. I would just say, hey, be honest. Let your children know what is what, because there is going to need to be some level of communication here. Like, if you're not able to afford your lifestyle or medical or whatever the case may be, maybe you guys can start trying to work on a plan now, but don't wait until stuff just hits the fan. Like, that's the worst thing you can do, in my opinion. This is what it is.
Y'all.
Oh. So here are a list of the 29 states that the young woman there was referring to. Y'all, let me know what you think. Are you seeing any of your states on there? Do you have any family that falls in any of these states? Like I said, you need to look into the state to see what the responsibilities entail. Do you think that the outrage that the young woman had is justified? Y'all, that video went like really, really viral on TikTok, and I had to educate myself because I didn't even know what she was talking about. I just always thought that, hey, if your parents, when they get older, if they don't have any money, it's going to fall on you anyway. But I didn't know that these sort of things were in place, because how it read to me is these sort of things apply while they're alive. Like, while they're alive, if they can't afford X, Y, and Z. I thought this was an interesting topic, so I wanted to look at a few other states. Here in California, it says supportive parents makes adult children responsible for supporting a parent who is in need and unable to maintain himself or herself by work. However, the law states that this applies otherwise unless provided by law. Do my eyes deceive me? Connecticut says relatives obligated to furnish support states that an individual who neglects or refuses to furnish reasonable, necessary support to a parent who is younger than 65 can be found guilty non-support or could be imprisoned to up to 1 year unless proven otherwise. So people can face jail time. Massachusetts says neglect or refusal to support parents state that an individual over the age of 18 will be fined $200 and even imprisonment of 1 year if they refuse to provide support to their parent in need if they reasonably can. Now that at least said if they reasonably can. It doesn't sound like you're being forced to if you can't do it, but if you can, you could face jail time if you don't. North Carolina looks like you can catch a misdemeanor. It says parents' failure to support clarifies that adult children with sufficient income after reasonably providing for his or her own immediate family will have consequences for refusing to support their parents who are unable to reasonably support themselves. The consequences include a class 1 and class 2 misdemeanor. This is serious stuff, y'all. This is why these sort of conversations need to happen. Now, I am not a legal expert and do not give financial advice, but I think this is something that a lot of people may want to look into. Y'all, let me know what you think about this down below. Do any of y'all support your family financially, or your parents or grandparents, whatever the case may be? I know she was specifically talking about the boomers, but I just don't exclude Gen X from this conversation because a lot of our, like my mom, she's Gen X. But even though some of us may have Gen X parents, they didn't say what age this starts at. So it's like, hey, does it start when they're 50? Because some of us already got to be like, oh, what's going on? We need to start being nosy. And I know a lot of the parents out there going to be like, no, it's none of your business. I don't blah, blah. Like, hey, according to this, some of your children are going to have to get involved. We have to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.